morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Pastor Jay back again with the Takeaway Podcast. So excited for my guest today. So excited for our topic today and everything that's going to go on. This is going to be one in the books that you're going to want to watch again, that you're going to want to share. I ask that you would pause for the cause right now, and whatever media platform you're watching this on, that you would go ahead, or listening to, that you would like, subscribe, that you would share, because you're going to want to hear this one. You're going to want to hear this one. This is one of my very best friends in the whole wide world, and my main man, Thomas Cole. Thomas Cole wears many hats, as we'll talk about today, and he is the proud founder of the Emma Jewell Charter Academy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
EJCA, okay? And we're going to talk all about that today, and we're going to talk about passion. Yes, Thomas sir. Cole, welcome to the Takeaway Podcast.
My brother,
yes,
brother.
Sir. Yes, sir.
You
yes,
call,
sir.
I'm here
yes,
always.
Sir.
You know you're my guy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Glad to be in the service one more time. So look, man,
yes,
so listen. So you start this amazing charter school.
Yes, sir.
You're married to this amazing woman.
Yes.
You have two beautiful, I would say boys. They're always going to be your boys, but they grown men.
Yes, sir.
Taller than both of us.
Yes,
right? Man, it's exciting, man. It's exciting. So you started Emma Jewell Charter Academy when? I think I know.
Yeah, you already know because of the fact you was the one who got the enrollment for me.
Yes, sir.
But
yes, sir.
Emma Jewell Charter Academy actually officially opened their doors in 2013. However, you mentioned my wife. My beautiful wife was the one who kind of inspired me to start Emma Jewell Charter Academy and also honor my grandmother.
Okay.
One of those things that you know, but some of your audience may not know, is that back in 2010, I was a regional executive for a charter school management company.
Okay.
I had 3 schools at that particular time, my brother. One was in Tallahassee, one was in Port St. Lucie, and one was in Kissimmee.
That kept you busy.
They were all over the place, my brother, all over the place. And I'm traveling. I'm in the hotel 3 nights of the week, and I still remember like it was yesterday. We were sitting at Outback, me and my wife, and she looked at me. She said, "I'm not going to be a single parent."
Okay.
She said, "You on the road 3 days. Part 1, you on the road 3 days a week. These boys need to know who you are."
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Part 2, she also said, is that those 3 schools that you have working for that for-profit company, they're doing very well.
Yeah.
And but you know what, black man, you ain't crap. Like, what do you mean? I said, I'm the executive. I'm making 6 figures. What do you mean ain't crap? She said that those 3 schools are doing well, but what are you doing for your own community? Said the unemployment rate in Cocoa is this. The poverty rate is this. The literacy rate is this. What are you doing for your own community?
Yeah.
So at that particular
motivation.
point there, that was heck of motivation. So at that particular time there, what she did, she was calling me on the carpet. For whatever spirit moved her, it moved her. And it had to move me. And at that particular time, Brother Wash, I was doing well. I was doing financially well for myself. We were doing well, but she wanted more out of me. So therefore, she motivated me to jump off that cliff, to take that leap of faith behind something that she knew I was passionate about. Okay.
Yeah.
And told me, do you need to go ahead and resign from that job there and go ahead and start your own not-for-profit in this city where your grandmother grew up, in this city where your grandmother had an impact. You need to have that same impact of your grandmother there. So it was one of those things where we had to be passionate about it and take a leap of faith. And one of those leap of faith, I'll be transparent with you, that we didn't realize. I was with this company for a while and rising through it. I had something in my contract called the anti-competition clause. That anti-competition clause, Brother Wash, said that I could not open up another school if I leave them within a 45-mile radius of any of their schools.
45 miles.
Within a year.
Okay.
So while I'm chasing this passion, I had to go and find somewhere else to work during the day. So I was working in Orlando off of Silver Star over in that area with those kids in Pine Hill.
Okay, Pine Hill.
I was over there in Pine. I know that's your area. That's your area. So,
Uh-huh.
and the thing is, what's interesting, Brother Wash, when you think about passion, is that when I was working for that previous company, my brother, I had an entire team that worked under me. I had a lawyer that did all of the governance pieces of a charter application, because a charter application is about 500 pages. I had a curriculum person to do the curriculum piece of that. I had a finance person to do the finance piece. But when I resigned from that company,
You had you.
me and my wife,
your
my
wife.
brother, sit in the Cocoa Public Library
Oh, I remember.
for 9 months writing that application.
I remember.
Writing that application all by ourselves, putting that 500-page application together. And I got to be honest with you, we started that, when you're talking about dates, we started that date in January of 2011. Now, I had to have that charter application turned in to Brevard Public Schools in August of 2011. So at that particular point, there's her and I doing something that should have been done by a team of 10 people. Sitting in the library, very passionate about what we believed in. So when we had to submit that application to Brevard Public Schools, there were 15 applications went in that year. They only approved 3. They approved the Extension to Odyssey Charter, which is located in a gated community in down in Palm Bay, and they approved Viera Charter, and they approved Emma Jewell. So at that particular point there, Brother Wash, I'm thinking, I'm here. I've arrived. Time out. Welcome to the world of nonprofit. Nonprofit means that when you want to open up something and you don't have a credit history, you're not gonna get no money.
None.
I wanted to open it up, not in Viera, not in Suntree where everybody told me to go. I wanted to go right here in the Cocoa community because I'm passionate about the Cocoa community.
Absolutely.
But every single bank, Brother Wash, told me no. I needed $500,000 to build that. You were there with me on the ground floor. Every single bank told me no. So at that particular time, I had to have the mindset that I knew what I was doing was the right passion, that I'm going to continue to ask until the last person to ask tell me yes.
Somebody got to say yes.
But what happened was I found this organization out of D.C. called Building Hope. And I found out they were going to have a charter. They were at a charter school conference in Orlando.
I remember.
I wasn't invited for the conference. I wasn't registered for the conference. I wasn't supposed to be at the conference. Guess where I went?
To the conference.
But the good thing about it, Brother Wash, let me tell you this. The good thing about it, when you go to those fancy hotels over the Crib Royale, they put everybody's business on the screen. Building Hope is meeting in this room at that time. So all I had to do was go there and see where they was going. I sat right there in that chair. I waited for the executive director to come out the door, and I shook his hand. I introduced himself. I said, my name is Thomas Cole. I want to start a school in Cocoa called blah, blah, blah. So he said, of course, he gave me a long to-do list because I'm pretty sure people approach him all the time. Give me this. Make sure you're legit. Just give me a license. Give me that. I gave it all to him. I'm beating him down. Everything he asked for, I gave to him. So it came to a point, my brother, where he got on the phone with me. He said, you know what? My board of directors up in D.C., they continually telling me, no, they don't know you. You don't have a credit history. You don't have a track history of being successful. And we don't even lend to that area. So if you want this loan, all our board of directors are flying down from D.C. They're going to be at the Diplomat Hotel in Fort Lauderdale. If you want it, you got to come get it yourself. This, my brother, was February 12th. This is Valentine's evening. So I'm telling my wife, look here, I know we got to go to work the next day. I know it's Valentine's coming up. We about to get on the road. We going down to Fort Lauderdale. I walked there, my brother. We went there to the Diplomat Hotel. He met me at the door and shook my hand. He said, you got me convinced. Now you got to convince everybody in this room here. Me and my wife, the only black faces there, my brother. We work in the room all night long.
All night long.
And to be honest with you, they were having cocktails. So the more cocktails they had, the more they believed in me. But seriously though, the thing is, that was a blessing in disguise, Brother Wash. And it comes from a point that they could have seen a loan application for Emma Jewell Charter Academy for $500,000 and just put denied on that loan application. But now what they have an opportunity to see, they see me. They see my passion for the community. They see my wife's passion for the community. So it was a blessing. So we worked that room till like 12 o'clock. And then, keep in mind, I just changed jobs, so I'm on a fixed income. So I can afford the hotel down there.
We ain't balling no more.
I can't go to the Diplomat no more. I had to drive back to be back to work the next day. So we got on the road. 2 days later, he called me. He said, we had our board meeting. I got some good news for you, and I got some bad news for you. I said, you know what? I done been through this. I want my dessert first. What's the good news?
What's the good news?
He said, the good news, we're going to do the loan. I said, okay. What's the bad news? He said, we're only going to do half of it. I said, wait a minute, why are you going to do half of it? He said, you too much of a risk. We can't put all our eggs in that basket. If you want this loan here, you're going to have to find us a partner. So at that particular point, I'm going through some things now. I'm upset. Lord Jesus, why you brought me this far to leave me? I know you didn't bring me this far to leave me, God. Please tell me you didn't bring this far to leave me. At that particular point, I found another organization out of Tampa called Florida Community Loan Fund. Everything on the application says we don't do startups. We're a startup. I got denied. So I'm going through some things. My wife said, look here, you got one day, have a pity party for yourself.
That's it. That's it.
After that, you need to come up with some goals and a plan. You got to get up off the mat.
Yeah.
But I think the Lord knew my passion because what happened was providential.
Absolutely.
That loan officer in Tampa, Brother Wash, had a relative that got sick, was placed at Sea Pines in Melbourne. She drove to visit him on the weekend in Sea Pines in Melbourne, remembered the application, decided to drive by little old Coco. Let me ride by Coco and see what this is. She drove by Blake and saw Monroe High School.
Blessing on Blake, man.
She rode by Blake and saw Monroe High School, fell in love with the idea of a school there, went back to Tampa and convinced them to do the loan and approved it. That's passion and that's providence. That's God.
Yeah.
That ain't nothing but God.
Ain't nobody
so
but
the thing
God.
is, Brother Wash, I tell everybody, yeah, I got all the degrees. My grandma name on the building, all that kind of stuff there. That ain't my stuff over there.
Yeah.
That ain't mine.
Yeah, that's
That's
all
God's
God.
work over there. Ain't
That's
none
God
of that
work.
belong to me, Pastor.
Yeah.
None of that belong to me.
Man, every time I hear the story, man, it lights a fire up under me, man, about passion and
Yes,
somebody
sir.
going after and then sticking true. You
Yes.
could have built a school for cheaper somewhere else.
And another community.
In another community. And, you know, now take me back to the napkin. Take me back to the napkin.
Yes.
Like tell the people about the napkin, man.
That's
and
what-
do you still have the napkin?
I got a picture of it.
Okay,
though.
got a picture of the napkin.
But we sit in the Outback, and then after my wife telling me about all these things they do for the community, she wrote on the napkin. But at that time, it said Emma Jewett Charter School. We changed it a little bit. Emma Jewett Charter School.
Yeah.
She said that this is how you honor your grandmother. She mean that much. This is how you honor your grandmother.
Wrote it on the napkin.
Right there. You know what's crazy? This was the Outback, and this was December of 2010. We went there. And this has all been December 22nd, 2010. So we had been starting to go back there every year just to celebrate, have our lunch, right?
Yeah.
And what's crazy, my mom, before she retired, Mary Cole, was one of my biggest supporters.
Absolutely.
She used to give me, at her job, she used to give me an Outback card to go celebrate. Because at December, she used to give me, said, y'all gonna have it, it was $50 on it. So she used to give me that every year in December, right? Because they gave it to her for a job. But what happened was, she retired, because you spoke at her retirement party.
I did.
So after she retired, she did not have those cards anymore. But I told my wife, you know what, we still gonna go there, right? I swear to you, not this day, my brother. The moment we sat down there was a pastor, he said, it was a white guy, he was a pastor, he used to minister at the jail. He walked up to me and my wife, he said, I don't know why, but God told me to give you this $50 card here.
I can't make this stuff
I'm
up.
telling you, he didn't know me from nowhere.
Yeah.
And he didn't ask for no praise, ask for nothing. He said, I don't know why, but God told me to give you this $50 card here, you and your wife for y'all meal.
Yeah, man.
So that told me we're supposed to be there.
Yeah, you're supposed to be there.
Yeah, I don't know this man. He said, look, my father gave me instructions. I don't need to know your name, need your story. I'm giving this card, I'm gone.
Talking about supposed to be there. I'm a new pastor in town.
Speak it, yes.
I'm preaching the Martin Luther King service.
Yes, sir.
They did the march. I preached the service. I didn't know it was a big deal. New preacher in town. I finished speaking.
Yes.
And I'm trying to remember what I preached about.
I know what you preached about. A bothered man.
Yeah.
A bothered man.
That's right.
He was a bothered man.
The
I remember
value
that.
of a bothered man.
Yes,
Yep.
I remember.
I sure did.
And I tell
I
you what,
walked off the stage.
It means something to me.
I walked off the stage. School wasn't started, man. And we've been tight ever since.
But listen, let me tell you something. Listen now. I was at there trying to recruit for there. So we had a booth there.
Yep,
And
sure did.
and this is the deal too. We're new.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
both knew.
we're gonna open up over here and you don't see nothing, no progress happening where it be.
Yeah.
That sermon you gave there moved me.
Yeah.
It gave me motivation, invigorated, because a lot of times when you're a new person on the block, whatever the case may be, they don't know you. I'm from Cocoa, but most of my work wasn't done in Cocoa prior to that.
That's right.
So I had to kind of prove myself.
Yeah.
But that thing about a bothered man,
Yeah.
you spoke to
Yeah.
me. That was meant for me to be there to hear that.
Man, that's been some years. You still remember
I
that?
still
one.
a bothered man.
Yeah, I must knew what I was talking about that day.
Yes, sir.
So man, I have you on there. We're talking about passion, and there are people, who like throw in the towel, or people who look at the deck stacked against them. They would look at those circumstances and say, man, let me just go back and get my good job, you know, and you know some of my story, you know what I mean? And I look at more than just, we told the story about getting the school open.
Yes.
But man, you got a waiting list now, man.
But you know, well, let me back up with you for a second. I'm trying to open up, and this is I'm trying to open up so Kendall referred me to this new energized pastor that's bringing a lot of energy to the community, and that was you.
Yeah.
And you gathered people up.
Yeah, man.
You went door to door,
Yes, sir.
knocking on doors for me.
Yeah.
You went to Lakeview knocking on doors. You went to Hawthorns,
Hawthorns, Candlewood, 800s, everywhere.
Oak Meadows, everywhere.
Oak Meadows,
and this is the deal. They didn't know me, which is interesting, but because of your passion, they knew you.
Yeah.
They were willing to trust me because of the passion that resides within you, within your resilience.
That's a big deal.
You know, because they didn't know me.
Yeah, that's a big
What
deal.
I'm going to this school for, I don't know this man, but I know this man.
Yeah.
That's where that came from.
Yeah. And
you
man,
know?
I mean, it was dumpsters outside.
Yes.
I remember one board meeting y'all had. I went.
We had no air conditioning, nothing like that.
No air conditioning. Nothing was sitting. They was like, Pastor, I'm
gonna
gonna
be
sign
open.
up, but man, that school ain't gonna be open in 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, it is, and it did.
And just a side story, I know you was at the ribbon cutting, but you don't know it. The ribbon cutting had the health department there. They gave us a certificate that day. You know what I'm saying? I'm in my mind moving forward that we're going to get this. But while we had the ribbon cutting, the health department was in the audience. Was the finish to give us the ribbon cutting because school was open the next day.
School was open the next
Yes, sir.
day.
The health department was there at the ribbon cutting.
I remember the cafeteria was a classroom.
Yes,
for some months.
yes.
Yeah, man. Just so excitement, man. So if you had this sum up the word passion in one word or one sentence, what would it be?
I think something, when I say passion, it'd be something that you're going to be motivated intrinsically to do, whether you're getting paid for it or not.
That's right.
That it means something for you. Whether it means starting a program such as the Real Church in the community. You have to be passionate about that. Something that you would do, as we can both say, that we did before we started getting paid.
Yeah, before we started getting paid.
Before you started, something that you would do for free if you could.
Absolutely.
That's where that passion is, that intrinsic motivation. And you know what, brother? That's what I try to instill within our scholars at Emma Jewell. I want them to be intrinsically motivated to do right. I want them to be intrinsically motivated to do their homework, to be intrinsically motivated to treat their family well. Because there's going to come a time where they're not at Emma Jewell anymore. So I want to instill a passion within them to be good people just because it's right to be good people. From that standpoint, Brother Wash, what I would say is the fact that you will find a lot of people out there in the world that's very, very intelligent, smart people, okay? But they're not all good people.
That's right.
So the thing that we want to instill with them, like what you're doing at the Real Church, is treating them to understand character education, good and bad, right and wrong, and also why.
Yeah.
Those are the things that are going to continue to keep you there. Because you could be a very smart person. You could go to the highest offices, or even appointed these days to the highest offices based on you can create a car or something like that, based on electricity. But you may not be a good person.
Yes, right.
You know.
That's right.
But I want our scholars to be smart and also good people as well too.
Yeah, man. That's awesome. You know, because I'm around so much.
Yes,
Because the Real Church was at your school for 27 months.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
For free, right? I know things kind of behind the scenes, right? And I want to dig a little deeper into that, like no names or anything like that. But man, I know just as much as we help families that are struggling. Your school has helped families that are struggling. Your school has helped families that are struggling. We're talking lights, waters, utilities, rent. I mean, like, people don't do that. People don't walk around, right? People don't step out, and I'm blown away. This is one thing I'm really blown away about. I'm blown away about how many scholars have graduated high school, college, whatever, and come back.
Absolutely,
you can't keep them off the campus.
We love that. We love that.
Yeah, man.
And before I answer that, my brother, let me correct you on something, okay? From the standpoint of, you said that you were there for 27 months for free. You paid for that. You didn't pay for it monetarily, but you paid for it intrinsically, and you paid for it with your faith in us, with your passion for us, with your volunteer. So you didn't pay monetarily, but you paid for that. So I want to be clear. You definitely earned everything that we were able to give you. That is definitely earned based on your passion for us. But going back to answer your question, my brother, one of the things that I would say is important that we're missing is being passionate about holistic education. When I say holistic education, I mean going outside of just the traditional 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic. Going from that standpoint of, if that family comes in and say, I don't have lights, where can you point me? I don't have food, what can you do for me? That right there is holistic education, holistic support from the standpoint of, even if we refer to a program at the Real Church and they help them get AFDC emergency food stamps, we're helping the entire family holistically. You know what I'm saying? So we're helping the family as it relates to outside the school walls. You know, those are the things that's important to both of us, because the reality of it is that I only have them for 8 hours of the day in that regard. You know, those other 16 hours, they still got to live. Yeah. They still got to make good choices. They still got to be able to navigate through the ups and downs and the ebbs and flows of life. So once we're instilling that within them, it is my hope, my desire, my dream that they understand that there's a special place, so they still come back passionately. Yeah. So if you come there on a Saturday morning, you see all these scholars that have graduated with the gold shirts on. Yes. And let me tell you something. They get up in the morning at 6 o'clock. When I get there at 8, they've been there since 6 o'clock. Yeah. Cooking breakfast, getting everything ready for me. Those are the ones that are passionate about it because they understand how special that place is. Understand the importance of giving back. Yeah. So they come back and give back. Yeah. And some of them will come there at 6 in the morning, but they say, Mr. Carr, I gotta leave early because I go to pubs for the job I get paid for. Yeah. You know, so they come to us first and then they go to that. So it's very
it's amazing, man, to see so many kids show up on a Saturday.
It is rewarding.
Come by, you know, and they want to be there. You know, they actually want to be there. You know, a lot about my past, my mom having a drug problem, my dad having issues, and you know, we've talked about our dads and the reason why we desire to be the fathers that we are in our families and for the community. Like you know, you are a father figure for many kids at your school,
right?
And you have been really passionate about being strategic, man, and intentional about having things for fathers there at the school. And it opened up guys that come from all walks of life.
Right.
I've been sitting at a table with the stepdad and the dad, right? All right, right, and we're talking, and this is amazing. So why is that so important to you?
That's very important to me because of the fact that I was raised by an amazing woman. My mother, Mary Cole, raised me as a single parent in the projects and instilled within me the importance of being a good man. So I think a lot of that comes because of the fact she was so strategic in making sure I had the right experiences, the right exposure and so forth, because of the fact that she worked so hard for me. She got up at 3 in the morning every morning to go to Rockwell College for 30-some years to make sure I didn't want for nothing. And I did not want for nothing. But I think the lack of a father taught me how to be a better father because all the things that I didn't have, I want to make sure everybody else has it. Yeah. You know, so I think a lot of times that becomes a situation with what you lacked growing up becomes your passion later on. Yeah. So if I lacked a father figure later on, that becomes my passion now. You know, because I had a strong mother that filled in all the gaps that I didn't want for nothing. I'm pretty sure she had some those tireless nights, sleepless nights, didn't know where the next what was gonna come from, but she made it happen for me. You know,
you didn't know.
I didn't know nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? And I got a very, very, very praying mother throughout this whole process, or whatever case would be, starting school. She's been my biggest advocate, my prayer. You know, honestly, when sometimes, just to share with you and on your podcast, sometimes when things go right, that's the first person I call crying.
That's right.
Tears. Yeah. Mama, this inspector came today and he didn't do me right today, Mama. Yeah. He didn't do right for me today. He could have did this inspection, that inspection, but he looked over that. I call her in tears sometimes. Yeah. And she'd be the first one that did listen to me. Yeah. And say it's gonna be all right. And she said, you know what, that's okay. I got a better inspector. I'm gonna go on my knees and call him now. That's right. I'm going on my knees and call my inspector now.
That's right. To
make sure you get the inspection you're supposed to get.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Sir. Absolutely, man. And mamas know how to go get it.
Yes, man. Sir.
You know, Jesus understood this. Jesus understood this. That's why he fed the 5,000 after he preached. He understood that it's gonna be real hard for them to swallow this message if their stomach growling.
Speak on it.
So I think I'm just a regular dude, and I think just some stuff just makes sense. Like they have to have a clean environment. They gotta have a roof over their head. Yes, they gotta have something in their stomach, man. And these are the basics, man. And you talked a little bit about mom raising you. So do you have a relationship with your father, or how was a relationship with your dad?
I met my father when I was 19, and then I met him again when I was 21, and then when my oldest son was born, when I was 28 years old, he came back in periodically to spend time with his grandkids. Gotcha. But and this is the deal too. I would say this too. There are definitively no hard feelings at all, by far. You know, I'm a man. I've been raised, and my mother gave me everything I need. So anytime you want to see his grandkids, come come on see your grandkids.
come on
You know,
see your
absolutely,
grandkids,
definitely. But let me touch on something you said too, brother. You talked about feeding people. Okay, that's one of the things that's very passionate for me as well too, because of the fact that a lot of our scholars may look for coming to school for that hot meal.
Absolutely.
So at Emma Jewell Charter Academy, and this is one of the things that we have been consistent on, if you come at 8:35 when the cafeteria closed, you're still going to go in and get something to eat.
That's right.
You're still going to go in and get something to eat because you cannot be in the classroom with your hunger pains louder than the teacher. You ain't going to learn nothing. Look how we get as adults when we're in a workshop or something and we hungry.
Yeah.
We're like, will they please just hurry up? You know what I'm saying? We can, you know. So the thing is, we give them a meal, and we give them lunch, but we also, if their parent come in the morning, they can eat as well too for breakfast. If their parent come in for lunch, they can eat as well too.
Yeah.
And the thing is too, we don't ask the parents to pay us, we pay them. If you come and eat with your child, you get Warrior Bucks.
Got you.
You know, all you got to do is sit there and have a conversation with them, you know? So we want them.
It makes a difference.
Absolutely.
When the parents are involved, it makes the difference.
Absolutely. And we want to continue to have them. So we feed them. And also the thing is, when my grandmother passed away, she passed away from high blood pressure. She had diabetes, she had hypertension, all that run in my family. And a lot of that is hereditary, but some of that's also what we take into our bodies. And that's why we have such a strong health and nutrition policy at Emma Jewell Charter, so I can honor her. And also I want to be to educate the kids on what high fructose corn syrup does to your body, what some of that those sodas do to your body, what the maltodextrin in those Taki fries do to your body.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? So we want to educate them so when they, because the thing is, I can preach it all day long in the school, whatever the case would be, but I want them to be able to intrinsically read those labels and understand those same labels when they get home as well too.
So speaking of labels, this is funny. It's funny now. It wasn't funny then. So your charter, out of all of the charters that were approved that year, you were approved for a charter in the neighborhood, and it was according to the way lunch would go, right? The way that the food would go, right? So I can remember after recruiting the first year, and you know everybody want to come to their baby birthday and bring a cake.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh
yes,
my
sir.
God.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh
right.
my God! And bring a cake. The first
And
year,
cupcakes.
Pastor, I don't know about this. Yeah, they want to bring cakes and cupcakes, and I can remember you saying, "Nah, bro, 100%,
100% juice.
100% juice,
Milk, or water. That's all
Or
that can happen. That's it. That's it. And the thing is, too, let me say this too.
God.
And you make a good point.
Popsicles the first year, they're like, what's wrong with you?
Yes, sir. This is the deal. I think it's also a cultural shift for our community that I'm trying to instill within that.
Absolutely.
Because in fact, when they come there and they get those cakes made from Publix with all that cream and stuff on top of it, we're telling them you have to bring fruits and vegetables to that birthday party. You can do whatever you want within your household, but while you are here, you are going to make sure that you are eating healthy. So you can't bring it in. We stopped that at the door. You can't bring that in. So I know we got a lot of pushback then, but let me say
everybody
this.
used to it now, though.
Yeah, but they push back then. But I use you as an example. Say when you go to church, sometimes you're going to dress differently when you go to church.
That's right.
A lot of people dress when you go to church. Well, think of this as the church of health and nutrition.
Okay.
So when you come in here, this is the health and nutrition. When you go home, you can have all the sodas you want, you have all the fried foods you want, but while you're within here, none of those cakes, none of those sodas, none of that fried food. Yes, sir.
Man, I get.
We done been through it together, brother.
Oh man, we went through it together, man. And then we went through it together, man. And I just admire the work that's being done over there, man. And we really, really appreciate you. I can remember kids that other schools or other places would call a problem. You know, they fell in line. They were accepted at EJCA, man, and that's a
come as you are.
Yeah,
you say that somewhere.
yeah, come as you are, man, and they've been accepted and excelled, right? And such a strong male presence at that school,
Absolutely.
you know, as well. This has been good. I know that we both are Prince Hall Masons.
Yes, sir.
Cocoa 55 double nickels.
Double nickels. Yes, sir.
But you have a strategic and specific role there that I don't want to shy past today.
Go for it.
With the Knights of Pythagoras, and you are over the chapter.
Yes, sir.
And you are the dude for the state, right? So you want to talk a little bit about
I would
that?
love to.
Yeah.
I'm very, very passionate. Well, this is the deal. when Kendall Moore and I first had a conversation about me becoming a Mason, he basically said you have to find something within Masonry that speaks to your passion. And there's nothing speaks louder to my passion than working with kids. So I decided, because you were the initial council director, and you passed that role over to me.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So I had some big shoes to fill. Definitely had some big shoes to fill. But to answer your question, Knights of Pythagoras is under the protection of our Masonic Lodge. And it is basically, if I had to put it in, we're working with these youth and we're instilling 3 basic fundamental principles. Respect for women, respect for God, and serve to your community. That's it. If they can understand those 3 basic fundamentals, then that is a place for them. And we're taking, and we have the biggest Knights of Pythagoras in the state now. We definitely have the biggest in the state. And it has been a very, very, and you know what's interesting? A lot of people have their misconception about a lot of things in life just in general. But let me speak to another thing that came home with me, because of the fact I just use an example as far as the parents did not know me, but they knew you. So when we had our first KLP meetings, and we had a lot of the brothers that were in there already, and I was still learning what case would be, they did the pitch to the parents. You know what every parent said? Said, I don't know much about Masonry, I don't know much about Knights of Pythagoras, but I know much about Mr. Cole. Then Mr. Cole said,
I'm good.
This is the program, here's my application. You know, and I think it, when you see people that are passionate, you build a certain level of trust, and you earn that trust. So they have entrusted me with their kids, and this is the deal too. Whether it may be Knights of Pythagoras, whether it may be Emma Jewell Charter Academy, if I'm passionate about it, then I'm going to have my own family in it as well, too.
That's right.
You know, when I first jumped off that cliff to start Emma Jewell Charter Academy, the first person starting to help me was my wife.
That's right.
So she's a teacher there now.
And the only 2 that didn't qualify for school, for free lunch
at that time,
with your kids.
Yes, sir. And speaking of that, so I also enrolled both of my children in Emma Jewell Charter Academy. Because me telling a parent that my child is not enrolled there is like Colonel Sanders saying he don't eat chicken, but he wants you to eat it.
He wants you to eat
if it's good enough for his family, good enough for them. So both of my boys attend Emma Jewell Charter Academy, and my oldest boy would have been in KLP, but that was when we had to shut down with COVID. So my youngest son is the Grand Master Knight for the entire state. My youngest son, Kaylon. So anything I'm involved in, my boys are involved in as well too. You know, because I want them to be a part of it as well too. And it also, as a father, gives me an opportunity to spend time with them. You know, so
especially these days, and everybody in college. Huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So now you got to come home and see me. You know, you got to do this. You got to do it. As a matter of fact, he's doing an initiation on April 15th for a new group of Knights that are coming through. He has to come down and do that. So, so now he got to come down. So I got to see him. So, so now he has to say, "Come on and go home for dinner with me now, son." You know.
And they're doing well in school.
The oldest. The oldest is at FAMU, mechanical engineering, and the youngest is at FIT, studying biomedical sciences, which is the pre-med program for FIT. Yes, sir. I'm a blessed man.
Yes, sir.
Blessed,
yes, you are, blessed man. We blessed to have you
on
Blake, man. We blessed to have you on Blake, man. We blessed to have you in the city of Cocoa and throughout the state. And I think, you know, what would you tell somebody like how to keep going? What keeps you going? What keeps you motivated? You're passionate about all of these things, but what puts your life on the charger, right, to give you the juice you need to keep?
Well, part one, I think if you are truly finding something that you're passionate about, then that motivation is going to come. When I was down and out, that I wasn't getting the recruitment I thought, I was motivated by that sermon you gave, you know? And this is what I would tell people that are passionate about jumping off that cliff. In life, and this is what I tell my own kids too, I can accept failure. I cannot accept not trying. Those are 2 separate things.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times when the road gets rough and they'll feel like you're getting tired, that's when it's time to kick it in and try even harder, because it must mean you're doing something right.
Absolutely.
You're getting closer to that particular goal.
Absolutely.
You on the cusp of that goal. And God wants you to continue to push on because you are right there. And once you get there, we're going to celebrate together.
That's right.
Because we made it, you know, we're going to celebrate together. You
Man, you done told my story behind the scenes so many times. I done told your story behind the scenes so many times, man. It's just a blessing, man. It's so much work to do. It's so much work that has been done by guys that came before us. The Dick Blake, the Dr. Joe Lee Smith.
Yes, sir.
various other ones, man, and you celebrate leaders every year.
Absolutely.
At your Black History
and at the gala.
program,
Yes,
and
sir.
at the gala, and man, we just excited about that. You know, man, this your first time on the Takeaway podcast, but it won't be the last, man.
Yes, sir. I enjoy being here, my brother. And let me
yeah.
thank you for something too. You speak on the word behind the scenes, and I don't have to say everything, but it would be understood. I want to thank you for what you have done for me behind the scenes, because everything that come out about Emma Jewel ain't positive, and there are always going to be those naysayers. And I know you are one of those people that support me behind the scenes, and that is more important than what you do in front of the scenes. So I want to thank you for that, my brother, and tell I love you for that, brother.
I love you too, bro. Yeah. Passion, man. Passion, man. Hey, when he started Emma Jewel, he had hair though. So
Ain't no grades.
Ain't no grades. Ain't no grades. Hey, so it's been great. It's been fun. Please like, share, listen again. It's all about passion. It's all about in the word passion. You have the phrase "pass I on" or "pass it on." Let's keep it going. Let's not let it die with us. Let's keep pushing. Let's support and let's share today. And let's love what we have. Let's do something with what we have. Your story is unique. Your story is special. Growing up in the projects, living here in Cocoa, and starting a school right there in the neighborhood. There's something you can do right where you are. I preach on Sundays. I'm not preaching today. Y'all be good. Have a good one. We'll talk with you soon.
Yes, sir.